All right, welcome to the Explainer. Have you ever thought about what it really takes to start a business? Well, guess what? Today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to build one right from scratch, and we'll nail down the absolute fundamentals as we go.
Okay, so where do we even start? Well, how about with the biggest, most basic question there is? Why do businesses even exist in the first place? I mean, what's the actual point of it all?
You know, the answer when you boil it all down is actually super simple. Businesses are here to make the things and provide the services that satisfy our needs and our wants. That's it. That's the core idea driving everything. So for our business, that means the first giant decision we have to make is, what problem are we actually going to solve? Are we going to focus on something people absolutely need or something they just want?
And look, this distinction is so important. Needs, right? That's the stuff you literally can't live without. We're talking food, water, a roof over your head. Wants, that's, well, pretty much everything else, from that fancy coffee you crave to the latest computer. Our business can be successful chasing either one, but we have to be totally clear on which game we're playing.
Okay, so let's say we've got our big idea. But here's the thing, no matter what we decide to make or sell, we are about to slam right into our very first roadblock. And it's not just any roadblock, it's pretty much the biggest problem in all of economics.
Yeah, that problem? It's called scarcity. I mean, just think about it for a second. We humans, our wants are basically endless, right? There's always something else we want. But the resources to make all that stuff, the time, the money, the materials, they're all limited. So you've got this constant push and pull, and that's what forces literally everyone, including our brand new business, to make some really tough choices.
Okay, let's make this super real for our business. Let's imagine we have exactly $10,000 to start. That's our entire budget, not a penny more. So what do? Do we pour it into a big marketing campaign to get our name out there, or do we invest it in better equipment to make a better product? We can't do both. We have to pick one.
And this decision, this fork in the road, brings up a concept that is absolutely essential: opportunity cost. See, if we blow that 10 grand on marketing, the opportunity cost isn't the $10,000. No, it's the shiny new equipment we couldn't buy. It's basically the value of the road you didn't take. And trust me, every single decision a business makes has an opportunity cost.
And listen, this isn't just a headache for a little startup like ours. This happens on a massive scale. A government might have $10 billion to spend. Do they build a new hospital, or do they spend that same money on upgrading the roads? They can't have both. They have to pick one. The opportunity cost of that new hospital is the better road network they had to give up.
So, okay, we've established our resources are tight. Scarcity is real. So the big question is, how do we get the most bang for our buck? Well, the answer starts with a simple but powerful idea. Stop trying to do everything at once. The way we do that is through something called specialisation. It's a pretty simple idea, really. It just means focusing on one specific thing and getting insanely good at it. So instead of our business trying to make 10 different products, it'll make just one. And our employees won't be jocks of all trades. They'll each master a single task until they're total experts.
But, and this is a big but, specialization isn't a magic bullet. It comes with some serious pros and cons. On the plus side, our workers get amazing at their one job, which means we get more efficient and the quality goes way up. But on the flip side, man, doing the same thing over and over can get super boring for your employees. And what happens if that one expert gets sick? The whole production line could grind to a halt, would be way less flexible.
Okay, let's do a quick recap. For our new business, we've picked a problem to solve, we're being smart about our limited resources, and we've decided to specialize. But you know what? None of that means a thing if we're not making any money. So how do we actually do that? How do we turn all this effort into actual profit?
The secret sauce, the real magic here, is a concept called adding value. This is the absolute engine room of any successful business. Basically, it's about taking some raw materials that cost, let's say, $10, working your magic on them, and then selling the finished product for way more than $10. That difference, that gap between what it costs you and what you sell it for, that is your added value. That's where the profit lives.
So, how can our business pump up that added value? Well, there are three main levers we can pull. First up, we could just increase the price we sell it for. Number two, we could find a way to get our raw materials for cheaper. And finally, number three, we could improve the product itself or build a really cool brand around it so people are happy to pay more for it.
All right, we've basically laid the entire foundation for our business from the ground up. But hey, knowing this stuff in theory is one thing. Being able to use it is a whole other ballgame. So let's put our new business brains to the test, shall we? We'll look at some real exam-style questions to see how this all works in practice.
Okay, let's kick things off with this question from an actual recent paper. On the surface, it seems simple enough, right? Define specialization. We literally just covered this for our business. Should be easy, right?
But hold on. See that? It's a 2-mark question. So how do you make sure you're grabbing both of those marks, not just one? Because just scribbling down a quick definition, that might only get you half points. What's the other half they're looking for?
Right, here is the secret to getting full credit. You have to think of it as a 2-part answer. You get your first mark for what's called knowledge. That's just the plain simple definition. But that second mark, the one that makes all the difference, comes from analysis. You have to explain the result or the consequence of it. It's not enough to say what specialization is. You have to say what it does. So remember, what it is plus what it leads to. That's your ticket to full marks.
All right, ready for another one? Let's do this together. This is a classic. You'll see this kind of question all the time. Identify 2 ways that a business could increase added value. And yep, it's for 2 marks.
Now pay close attention to the wording here. The key verb is identify. That means you don't need to go into that whole deep analysis thing we just did. No need for consequences here. You literally just have to name 2 clear methods. And think back to our business plan. What did we say? You could increase the selling price or you could cut your material costs. Boom, 2 points, right there. And just like that, look at how much we've covered. We started with the simple question, why do businesses even exist? And now we're talking about scarcity, specialization, adding value, and we even looked at how to ace questions about it. You've basically just nailed the absolute fundamentals of business activity.
So, there you have it. The foundation is built. We get needs versus wants, we get scarcity, specialization, and how to add value. But let's be real. For our new business, this is just square one. Which brings us to one last big question. What's the single biggest challenge our new business is going to have to tackle next?